What's happening, fans? We are here to talk overlay fantasy sports. We're going to run through the baseball slate, and if we get the opportunity this afternoon, we're going to jump off with some basketball as the NBA starts back tomorrow. If you want your DFS memberships, they are available on the website. The link is below. The part about this year for all paying members, you get two sports, man, because we baseball, live and kicking right now, and basketball starts tomorrow.
Might be three sports coming soon.
Right.
Which is nuts.
Speaking of three sports, though, for you guys play golf, I know a couple of you guys really get into the golf stuff. They got golf contests up here as well, opportunities to win these jackpots, big-time paydays. I know we'll be looking for that $18,000 jackpot on the main progressive one coming up on the NBA. Do yourselves a favor, guys. Go throw a few bucks in there and go try to get rich.
Yeah, let's get it, guys.
All right. Ooh, I feel like we definitely talked this one over earlier today. Charlie Morton versus Mike Soroka. I think we're going to agree on this one. I'll stick with Chuck Morton as well.
I'll go Morton, but I don't love it because it's just I don't love either pitcher in this game, but I do like Morton more than Soroka.
Yeah, your boy Acuna, as you keep mentioning, does not look like he's functioning on all cylinders at this point. And that offense for Atlanta, as good as it is, it's not quite as dangerous while, Acuna will get going. He's just not as of right now.
Right, and it's not as deep as those other top offenses. So when Acuna's not hitting the ball well, they lost Josh Donaldson from last year also.
Yeah, Josh Donaldson was still a very good player last year.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we're going to move down to some of the Tampa Bay offense. We got G-Man Choi taking on Jose Martinez. This is a tough one to talk about, so let's not spend a lot of time on it. Jose Martinez has not been an everyday player, and also G-Man Choi is listed as day-to-day.
Yeah, I like Choi, assuming that they both play, though. He's leading off against righties, and he's got the platoon advantage.
Sure. If they're both in there, I would agree with you 100%.
Cool.
All right. Yoshi Tomo
Tetsugo.
versus Yandi. Say it again?
Yoshi Tetsugo.
All right, Tetsugo. I'll learn that by next year, trust me.
I never seen the Yoshi Tomo. I just always see a Yoshi.
Yoshi? All right, man. How about him versus Yande Diaz?
Both these guys are good. Obviously, we know more about Yande Diaz. I'm going to just go with my gut and go Tetsugo, though.
Okay. I'll side with you on this one. I know you've been watching a bunch of the Tampa Bay at-bats, so I'll take your opinion on this one. Moving down, next step up, we got Kevin Kiermaier or Hunter Renfroe. I'm going to go with Kiermaier, just going to take the platoon advantage on that one.
I agree, although we obviously know who has more power, as evidenced by his 2 home runs the other day. But I will go Kiermaier also.
Yeah, Kiermaier is a solid all-around player, but if you want home runs, Hunter Renfroe has big boy power.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he'll hit him up there in the cheap seats. All right, Willy Adames versus Mike Zunino. Look, man, Zunino also has more power than Adames, but Adames just does more things. Give me Adames.
Yeah, Zunino does very little besides hit the occasional home run.
Right, and I also watched him get pinch hit for the other day when they were looking for a better quality at bat. They're not going to do that with Adames.
No, Adames is their shortstop. I mean, still needs to progress a lot as a hitter, but he's their guy.
That's one I will actually pick too.
Same.
Assuming Zunino gets the start.
So is the next one.
You're going to pick Albies, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So we all know Matt watches a ton of baseball, and early in the season is one of the most common time to see guys slumping. Acuna is swinging and missing it a lot. This will change. It could change tonight. It could be next week. It could be next month. But right now, he does not look good. And Albies, switch hitter, rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You'll pick this one too, huh?
I will.
All right. Freddie Freeman or Ozuna? Give me Freddie Freeman. Lefty versus Morton.
Same.
He's better than Ozuna too. Not by a ton. Ozuna's still pretty good, but he's better.
Yeah, he is.
All right, Austin Riley versus Dansby Swanson. Again, I'll roll with the platoon advantage here.
They're both righties.
I'm misremembering Austin Riley. I will, I'll still take Austin Riley.
I'll go Swanson.
Okay. Benintendi versus Mitch Moreland. Give me Benintendi. I have a little more confidence that he'll, fluke a little single or draw a walk against DeGrom. Both of these guys could easily get 0, though. This one's setting up to be a tie.
Yeah, I probably won't pick it, but I'll go Benintendi with you.
Okay. JD versus Devers. I think we firmly see this one the same way. These two guys are really, really even. So when there's right-handers out there, I'll go Devers. And when there's lefties, I'll go Martinez. So I'll take Devers.
Move it along.
All right. Xander Bogaerts versus Jacob deGrom or Inciarte versus Morton. Look, guys, we both love Charlie Morton. We think he's one of the more underrated pitchers in baseball, but he ain't Jacob deGrom. So it is difficult to pick anybody. Even though Bogarts is better than Inciarte, I don't like picking anybody that's going up against Jacob deGrom.
I'll still go Bogarts here because I think he's that much better than Inciarte.
All right, I like that. Inciarte throws in the stolen base capability. I will not argue with you that Bogarts is better, and better by a pretty substantial margin, but I'm going to pick Inciarte right here.
I get it. I probably won't pick.
No, I probably won't either. Morton did not look like his dominant self in his first start, and I'm a big Chuck Morton fan, but deGrom looked like every bit of who he is.
Yes, sir.
All right, JBJ versus Verdugo. I'll ride the red hot JBJ, still having a swing on a hot stick.
I'm with you 100% there.
Okay, Brandon Nimmo versus Cespedes.
I like
Finding Nimmo versus the human Cespedes.
I like Nimmo.
All right, I'll find him with you.
Cool.
Jeff McNeil versus Pete Alonso. Give me McNeil. Pete Alonso, while he's definitely got the big boy power, unless he goes yard, is just tallying up the Ks left and right.
Give me McNeil. The next few are ones I like, so give me McNeil here. I'll pick it.
And then we'll both pick Conforto, I'm guessing.
We'll both pick Conforto. Is correct.
All right, and then JD Davis over Cano.
I like Cano.
Really? Any specific reason how come?
Platoon advantage. He got at least 2 hits yesterday. Cano's a guy that when he starts swinging like many others, he's very hot and cold, and he seems to be maybe getting going right now.
Okay. You're a bigger Cano fan than I am, but you did talk me out of picking this one. So I'll still go with JD Davis, but it's going to get left off of my top 10.
Cool.
All right. Dustin May versus Christian Javier. Give me Dustin May.
Same. All day.
I'll pick that one too.
Same.
All right. Max Muncy versus Mookie Betts. So Muncy looked like he was starting the season on fire with that 2 home run game, but he's been off since then. So I will go with Mookie Betts.
Same. Who also quietly has double digits in 2 games in a row.
There we go. Cody Bellinger versus Justin Turner. Bellinger is another one of these elite superstars who still is starting a little slow right now. I'll give Justin Turner. I mean, if I'm looking to win a GPP on a pay site like that, give me Bellinger, who's got the higher upside on any given day. But Justin Turner, when I'm just looking to get off the snide, I'll take Justin Turner.
Does Bellinger look off right now?
He doesn't look like Cody Bellinger, which is a very high standard, right?
Very high. Okay. I'll go Turner also, but I also agree, like in a GPP, I like Bellinger significantly more.
Man, if you're asking me who hits 2 bombs and steals a base, it's Cody Bellinger, right? Like when I say he doesn't look like himself, okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes you don't always look like the reigning NL MVP and, ex-rookie of the year that lit the world on fire. That's a very high standard to live up to on a daily basis.
You taught me you talked me off picking it.
All right. Corey Seager versus Jock Peterson.
I'll go Seager, more consistent.
Yeah, I also, just because I know Seager's the shortstop and he sticks in there, Jock Peterson's more likely to get pinch hit for if there's a lefty later in the game.
Truth.
Just kind of like Enrique Hernandez and AJ Pollock. Give me AJ Pollock.
Give me Pollock as well.
All right. Brantley versus Yili Gurriel. We talked about Brantley on the main show. Definitely give me Brantley here. He looks really good to start the year.
Yeah, give me Brantley here as well.
I like the cut of Correa's jib right here. So we got Correa versus Kyle Tucker. I'll go with Correa.
I'll go with Correa also.
He's got a little bulldog in him that in this little series right here, I like the idea of him. Whereas like George Springer, it's early. It seems to be crumbling under all the pressure. I think this is a spot where I like the bulldog in Correa.
Okay, I get that.
All right. Josh Reddick versus Martin Maldonado.
I'll take Reddick, but it's closer than it should be. I'll say that.
Yeah, all right. I'll side with you on that one. Springer versus Altuve. Give me Altuve.
Yeah, give me Altuve also here.
This is interesting. One of these might fall off. Then we also have Springer versus Bregman. I'll take Bregman.
Same.
Springer, again, I know everybody wants to attribute it to the trash cans. He may just be off to start the year, right? Like, let's look for a little bit of a longer sample size in 5 games.
I highly doubt it's the trash cans. I mean, my thing is, like, all these guys were really good before the trash cans. You know what I mean? Like, they have been really good their entire lives. So
Sometimes guys are just off to start the year. My boy Christian Yelich is batting 45 right now. Sure, the one hit was a 430-foot home run. That's great. Maybe he just got a little lucky on that one. He'll be back. Trout won't look like less than stellar all year. Bellinger won't. It's really early on in the season. But right now, George Springer looks terrible.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% all the way around.
All right, so Altuve versus Bregman. I'll take Altuve again.
Same, but it's real close.
Definitely. I don't like picking these where it's, they're both righties, both good players from the same team. I just feel like you're crossing your fingers a little bit more.
Who's the better overall player, Bregman or Altuve? Like, who will go down as the better player?
It's a tough one.
I don't have a good answer. I think it's to be determined.
Yeah, it is to be determined. The thing is, right here, we know who Altuve is. I don't think Altuve is getting better, right? Like, we've seen his plateau. We've seen his peak. Bregman may still get better, and it's just been a clutch performer. But what if this is like the downfall of the Astros and Bregman, has very few playoff appearances going forward for the rest of his career?
Well, right now, I feel like if their careers ended, Altuve would go down as the better player because he's done
a much longer resume.
Right, but I agree with you. Bregman has his higher upside because, you look at his numbers and he is based, in a lot of metrics, like the second best player hitting wise in the AL behind Mike Trout. And I agree with you. Now, your playoff point is valid, but if he's still raking and they're not making the playoffs, it is what it is. You talk about that in baseball all the time.
Yeah, I'm more like making that argument for Bregman. Like, he's been so good, but he might not get those opportunities to be good in the playoffs again.
True. Fair enough.
So, all right. Again, I think Bregman's upside is it's higher.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. But you can't argue with the resume. It's really difficult. I think Patrick Mahomes has every opportunity to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. But I just can't put him past Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady right now because those guys did it for, a full decade plus longer. But it could be soon.
Exactly. Agreed. All the way around again.
Mahomes is all that and many, many bags of chips.
Yeah, he's a pretty big bag of chips for sure.
I know this is off topic a little bit, but is there anybody that you can think of that this early in their career, we're talking 2 seasons in, where you're like, you know what? This guy could easily be the GOAT, already. Or I feel confident saying that he could go down as the GOAT.
People say that, but you're right. It actually feels that way with him.
Yeah, he passes the eye test. He's got the MVP and the Super Bowl already.
Even like LeBron James, you couldn't say that because he didn't do anything his first 2 years.
No, this kid's obviously good and he's going to be really, really good, but GOAT type of status. Right. Mike Trout's the first guy that comes to mind, but in baseball, it's just so tough to watch a guy after 2 seasons and be like, oh, you're better than Barry Bonds, you're better than Ted Williams.
Even today, people are hesitant. And so it's much harder in baseball. I'm with you. It's rare. He's in rarefied air. That's just a given, right?
Right. When you see a $450 million contract and you're like, man, that's a good deal for the team. Mm-hmm. So anyways, guys, that's what we got. We'll hit you up a little bit later for some NBA discussions to get those underway.
Thanks, guys.